on this thing. So do you know what your total hours in the 337 are now? I mean, you flew this thing back from Utah, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not PSC, but.
No, I know, but you've got a lot of hours in this thing as a ride along with another pilot or another CFI. So
I got probably about 40 hours not loggable.
Yeah.
Technically not PIC.
Yeah. So, and do you know how much training we've done? Because I think you and I did 15 or 16 hours.
Yeah, I did bring my book, so we can look at that.
It's not critical, but I know we're not starting over here, right? No. That's the key.
No, we're not.
Okay. So our goal is to try and get this done in a reasonable amount of time, maybe within 3 or 4 weeks here, which I think we can do if we spent like a Friday or a Monday or something doing this.
Whenever you can fly, I'm down.
Okay. So the great news is we had a discussion before COVID, right? Okay. Or maybe it was during COVID, because I remember having a mask on with you one time.
Yeah.
Mute off.
So before COVID, you and I had a discussion with the DPE, and the DPE was really favorable, and he gave us this whole list. So kind of know exactly what we need to do here.
Okay.
And we've already done most of...
Terrain system test, okay.
We've already done most. Can you turn up the audio volume just a little bit? Maybe on this one. Let me just see where... Yeah, that right there. Is that too loud?
No, that's good.
Okay. So, we've already done the complex and high-performance part of this checkout. And the rest is centerline thrust, and there's a lot of stuff the DPE said we didn't need to do. So we're just going to try and keep this simple.
All right.
And then there's a couple things I wrote down that have happened in the interim since I last flew with you, which we had a big hiatus because of COVID.
Yep.
And then you have done some unbelievable upgrades on this plane, which I can't even believe I'm staring at this right now. So one thing really big that happened that kind of freaked me out, the plane that I did my training in, the 337 Kilo November in Colorado, was destroyed in a fatal accident, and the results of that aren't going to be in for a while. It could have been mountain downdraft, it could have been pilot error, it could have been an engine out, it could have been density altitude, could have been a bird strike, and that list, they don't know anything about it, and the plane was completely destroyed in fire, and 4 people died. So we do not want to do any of those things in this plane, right?
Yeah, I tend to like to fly this conservatively.
I know you actually do, which is good.
Yeah.
So this is not an aerobatic plane. This is a beautiful platform.
Take runway 01, departing to the northeast. Flight W.
Keep an eye out for any helicopters. There's a medical helicopter and 2 flight training helicopters if they come out. And then this November 12, November Alpha. You may be familiar with this. I just read about this again last week.
The Polish guys.
These guys did...
Polish cowboys, unfortunately.
Yeah, this was just a really stupid hot dogging mistake.
They kept going in and pulling up, going in and pulling up.
They did a low pass, and it was either an accelerated stall or it was just overloaded the airframe. They were going like way over speed. They did a really fast pull-up from...
I'm very familiar with
20, 30 feet above the runway.
And he had 1 million STCs on his plane.
He had, I think there was 30.
Yeah.
And they were all signed off, but they had never been looked at jointly.
Together, yeah.
They put in tip tanks. He lost 6 feet of the outboard wing. Plane flipped right over. That kind of accident you'd never even see coming, right? It's like
before they took off, they actually saw liquid coming out of the wings. And they still took off. Like, they're like, oh, whatever.
So this is just a great example of we know what these guys did, and this was totally preventable.
Yep.
It was an aerobatic maneuver. It was an illegal maneuver. It was overloaded aircraft, and the guy just did something stupid in front of his whole family and killed 4 people. So just a friendly reminder that shit can go bad. And then the last thing is my multi-engine instructor up at Trenton, who was a very young guy who was a chief pilot.
Yeah.
He got killed last summer right down here, South Jersey. Him and his dad were in a Tabria, maybe?
Yeah, I remember that. Joy actually knew him.
Who did?
Joy.
Really super proficient, really nice, by the book. So that I'm telling you about this because and he was an airline pilot too. He just started about a year earlier.
Sure.
This bad stuff can happen to anybody in a second. He was with his dad. they probably lost an engine, tried to get over some trees like we have right here,
Yeah.
maybe stalled it. And
it's like the front yard of somebody's house, I think.
It was a small grass field down there.
Yeah.
So, no reason for taking risks in this GA aircraft.
Okay.
And I don't know if you feel this way, but this is like a total privilege to be able to fly an airplane in this
absolutely.
country. If you have an ancestry from where? Poland. So I have a friend who's from Norway, and he tells me, and people from Europe tell me, like, it's not like this in other countries.
GA doesn't exist over there.
So this is a totally unbelievable privilege to be able to do this in the United States, and then for you to have this plane is a whole nother level of blessing. You're right. This is
for sure.
This is actually a real airplane.
I was just over in Europe in December, and yeah, their GA doesn't exist. I'm going to start the rear engine.
Yeah, you can get ready, and then we'll talk a little bit about more about
listen,
this.
I just said the
That's okay. I think that was mostly what I wanted to go over.
Yeah.
That was my speech. So me and one of my other students, Ian, have come up with 2 rules. Rule number 1 is don't get killed, because we both have to go to work on Monday and we have family. And rule number 2 is don't break the plane.
Yeah.
And we started making up other rules, and we realized if you just didn't do 1 and 2, everything else was kind of covered.
Sure.
So while you're warming up, tell me what you did to this panel, because this is absolutely stunning. So you got, are there 9 of those things?
Yeah, so I like the way the Caravan was configured, and that's kind of what I used as my template to design this. So I kind of went through and I designed this in Illustrator, and then I
went to the bank. You had to go to your bank, your investment banker.
Right.
Jesus.
And these are aerospace logic gauges, which I'm really a fan of. They've been good. I really like.
I'm going to turn this down for a second so you can just remember that volume's down.
Gotcha. The thing I really like about it is that it's super, super accurate, which is nice. So you can really kind of see your numbers and be exactly on them, which is cool.
Well, I hope our audio and video works, because this is probably going to end up being one of the nicer 337s on the planet, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different. I didn't like the analog stuff. And another thing that I liked, or that I wanted to accomplish, was, you remember before, there's really no co-pilot experience. So now you have the same experience that I have, so you can see exactly what I'm seeing, You
have to remember, the co-pilot experience for me was just flying this plane. This thing is really beautiful platform to fly.
Yeah,
it's actually got a payload capability, and
yeah, it's a plane you can go places and do things with.
So right now, just for sake of anybody who's not familiar, we start up the rear engine on a 337. Why?
So we can see, or not see, but hear that it's
Well, we can actually feel, because we're going to taxi first with it, right? So.
Yep.
We can't see the engine and the prop like we can on a traditional twin, so this is one of our ways of knowing it's actually producing power.
Absolutely, and along with obviously the visual cues, but starting it up and hearing it is.
Where's your manifold pressure gauge?
So this.
Oh, so you moved it. So.
Yep.
At idle, we're showing, and I wanted to ask you before we started the engine. So where's your other engine manifold pressure? Are they both here?
They're both there. Yeah.
Oh, so front is 30, so this is just one of your quiz questions you're going to get from the DPE.
Yeah.
30, we don't know what our pressure altitude is right now, but we're going to get it in a second.
Yeah, it was South Jersey, I think it was 3021.
Yeah, so it should be very close to this, right?
Yep, when it's off.
And then when we go to idle, it's going to be a lower pressure because we've got the throttle. This is fuel injected or
fuel injected?
Okay, so it's a little different, but we're going to have a lower pressure at idle, and when we are full open, it should be close to atmospheric pressure again.
Yep.
Unless what?
Unless there's a hole in the line.
Or no, unless there's a turbocharger, then it could actually be higher, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And this is not turbocharged, right?
Not turbocharged.
The one I flew in Colorado was pressurized and turbocharged, which is a whole other level of complexity.
Yeah, for sure.
Very nice.
But yeah, we
So
have primary GI 275. So these are the critical ones. These two, and this one. And if one of these goes out, they can, they're hot standbys. So this can become the attitude indicator.
You just hit a switch and they flip, right?
Yeah, the switch is down there.
Cool.
For that, for that side. This side, it's over here. But
we've been thinking about doing these in our plane, and somebody tried to talk us into an Aspen setup for the G5 Garmin instrument, and it turns out neither of those are probably as good as these. They fit in the hole. They're bigger than I thought, too.
Yeah, I like these because they fit the original character. Like, even the G5s, they're okay, but they're just, they're not good.
And I didn't know this. They were never designed for this application. They were originally experimental, I think.
Okay.
And they decided to STC them or whatever. Anyway, really, really nice presentation, man. Nice kudos on that, because I think this was the only thing you had put in here earlier, and you had just gotten the wiring harness done. How did that all work out? It was it usable?
It was a project, yeah. We used the stuff that was pre-configured based on the design of the layout, so it was nice. Everything fit together.
All right, so checklist. So when you go to the DPE, it's checklist, everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to turn that on to get the battery charging.
Good. I like it.
So, all right.
And you're pretty familiar, because it's going to take me an hour to become familiar with all your...
Yeah, absolutely. All the important stuff is right in here. So
the most important one is probably right here, so we got them.
One thing I forgot to mention, which is super awesome, is the fuel's actually accurate. So
good.
These outside ones are the main tanks. The inside ones are the aux. I tend to keep them, not really full just to save on weight. But yeah, it's within 2-3 gallons, which is awesome.
And remind me how you switch, or you don't even have to.
Right above us here.
Got it. Perfect.
Yep.
So that's part of your checklist. Yeah,
yep.
I remember that part now.
Yep. All right. So start. Seat track.
I'm good.
Verify fuel selectors. Cow flaps are open.
So right main and left main. Thanks for reminding me. I wouldn't have looked right up there. Been in this plane for almost a year and a half.
Yep. Okay. Master on, beacon on. Voltage regulator is on number 1. Run standby switch is operative. All right. Mixture rich. Okay. We have the rear started. Let's go ahead and start the front. All right. All right, so we put the pump on low. Okay, we'll shut the front fuel pump off. Get it down to idle, or close to it. Okay. All right, seatbelts are on.
I'm good.
Flaps are up. Okay, altimeter. All right, so what ATIS...
so I turned this down, so I'm going to turn that back up just so we don't forget. And we're 119.325. If you want me to grab that for you, I can.
Top radio.
Does this one still work?
It does, but you got to turn the comm on, which is it's off right now. But what's South Jersey's ATIS? I can look it up.
119.325.
Okay. Awesome.
So, bang.
Well,
there we go.
Sky condition, clear. Temperature, 0.1 Celsius. Dew point, -0.2 Celsius. Altimeter, 3017.
Okay.
Remarks,
3017.
density altitude, -1,800.
All right, good density altitude. So performance
Automated weather observation, 1344.
Okay. All right, so we've got the, you know how to set it on here? You just hit
I do not. Nope, I'm a total amateur when it comes. What are these, G275, right?
Yeah, 275s, yep. 3017. And then we got the old analog gauges too, if you want to.
So how did you do that?
You just switch.
Oh, down here, got it. Was it 3017?
Yep.
Wow, I wish I wasn't here right now, only because now I have to go get these installed.
Yeah, they make it.
So, are we not using this instrument at all?
No, we use that as a backup.
Okay, because when I look down at that, so we're 3017, right?
Yep.
And that is pretty close. We have to be within 75 feet, and we're within 25, so that looks good to me.
Okay, cool.
Do you have one over there?
What's that?
Altimeter?
Yeah, it's right
Okay,
here.
you're all set?
Yep.
You look like you're at the same altitude I am on there. So,
Yep.
that's like actually, is that distracting to you to have two of those, or does it matter?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm usually looking at the 275.
You're using the tape, right?
Yep.
Good.
But it's, it's good to have the old stuff too, as a backup. All right. Is it okay to do run-ups here?
You know what? I would go down there,
Okay.
and I'm going to turn this down again because I'm probably talking really loud in your ear.
That's all good.
I normally go down to where the medical helicopter is, turn around and face this direction, just so I'm not blowing on the medical helicopter or any other airplanes. So you think you can get this thing back together?
Yeah, the pedestal's no big deal. We were just
in this thing.
fine-tuning the knob, so we're still in the process of doing that. So.
And then I would just placard anything that's in op or...
Yeah, right now the autopilot, since it's part of that quadrant, we put that there.
Yeah, this thing does have an autopilot.
It does, yeah. It's an old Century 3, but it actually works.
So, right where that guy is kind of the right place, and good, he's getting out of your way. Radio check 1228.
Loud and clear, 22.8.
Thank you, sir. So you wouldn't believe how many people fly in and out of here and everywhere else with their radio on the wrong freak, and you never hear them, and this guy's flying through. Hey, this is they were calling for a really high ceiling here, but that doesn't look like it's. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Could be 15,000 feet. Yep. Just give this guy a second.
Sure, yeah.
480, you guys on your way out?
Yeah, we're just getting ready to go now.
Okay, we're going to come up behind you when you get out. So I would actually go up this way, Julian, and you turn around, and then just make sure your wing doesn't cross those cones. I don't know if they're waiting for traffic. I don't see any. There's nobody coming in, so I'm going to get rid of this flight plan.
So you want me to point the opposite direction?
Cessna 25480 departing runway 1.
So I would just follow this yellow line down and do a right U-turn so that your wing is clear of these cones. And you'll be facing prop, well, you got two props, sorry. You'll be facing nose forward that way.
The back one so you can go in reverse?
Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting. So while you're getting set up, I'm going to make sure. I know you have a copy of this, but
yep.
I'm going to make sure we talk about all this stuff, so.
Okay, cool.
So I think it's a good idea. We'll talk about this when we leave, to do some of these paperwork items. There you go, this is perfect.
All right, trim is... Okay, trim is good. Flight controls, ailerons, check. Elevator, check. Rudder, looks good.
Do me a favor.
Yep.
Do you have a parking brake that works?
No.
Okay.
Cessna's, for whatever reason, they're parking
brakes. Yeah, I know. Well, just make sure you have the brakes, because I had a young kid let go of them the other day, and
yeah, I'm definitely on
I'm not going to tell you what he almost hit, but it would have been my fault.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely on them. Okay. Instruments, we set those. Induction air is cold. Yep. Mixture, best power. Okay, let's go 1800 on the rear. Temperature's coming up. All right, we're going to go to 1800.
So here, you got good manifold pressure, you got good RPMs, and you got fuel flowing.
Yeah, so what I'll do is, it's not on it yet, but I'll tap. So I'll
you
use
can
this
see
for the fuel
everything
flow.
jives, right?
That's the pressure, gallons per hour, and then, yeah, that's the levels.
Okay.
All right, so we're at 1800, mag check, left, right. Okay, we're pretty close. Both. All right, now we'll check the prop.
Traffic, White Cherokee 50.
Where's your oil pressure? That's the second thing you're looking for, right?
The north, over Spymaster field at 3000. So much traffic.
Little drop.
A little bit. looks good. Idle down. Front to 1800.
Hey, stupid question.
Sure.
How did these get black instead of blue, or were they always this color?
Cessnas are black. Beach are blue.
Huh. My Cessna's blue. Anyway, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought you switched them out.
Yeah, now that's OEM right there. All right, left.
Flying to be traffic, Cessna
Right.
480, depart of the pattern to the north for a on-course departure to the south. Flying.
All right. Prop front. Okay. All right, looking good. All right. Feather test done. Vacuum does not exist. Amps, we are charging. Alternators are on. Oil pressure looks good.
Well, you do have a suction gauge, though, right?
No, there's no vacuum. Completely vacuumless.
Oh, because you got rid of everything?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow, good job. You get rid of the vacuum pump is gone now? You
Yep.
don't have
Everything's off. No vacuum.
It's literally removed from the plane, though?
Completely 100%
Nice.
removed. Yep.
So we do have birds, so we'll be really careful. I mentioned that earlier. Bird strike is not a cool thing here.
Yep.
Anywhere.
Flaps 1/3, props high RPM, mixture of S power, prop sync off, heading bug.
Are you in your pre-takeoff now? You're done your run-up?
Pre-takeoff, yeah.
Okay.
Flying to be traffic, Cessna 480, clear the pattern area, final call, flying W.
Landing light is on. Okay. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to do my check real quick. So the most important one for rule number 1, not getting killed, we want to make sure the left main and right main are set properly. Can you just back me up on that?
Yeah, so front is to the left, rear is to the right.
Our mixture's full rips. Your flaps are set for 1/3, and that's your thing. And then our departure, we're just going to do a VY. So what's our rotation speed in this?
Rotation speed is 75
Let's look that up. 75 and 112 is VY.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to brief the runway before we get out here. You know, there's wires down there.
Yep.
I don't know exactly, but I don't ever not cross them at above less than 350 feet. They're probably about 2 to 250 MSL.
Okay.
And the best abort is going to be that direction, I think. So look that way first.
Okay.
And if it turns out you lose your engine quickly, we got about a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile of farm field directly ahead of us. So it would be, you know, engines idle, full brakes, and just slide into that field. If you get airborne and we're before the wires, you're going to bank very gently to your left.
Okay.
And there's lots of fields over there we can hit. Okay.
Gotcha. All right.
All right, buddy. So you've flown this plane plenty. I'm gonna be here for CFI purposes, and we're gonna go out. So my suggestion is we head over to MJX, because that's where you're gonna be doing your... Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's
You've been over there. I want you to get it familiar. I'll make a radio call before we get out here.
Okay.
25480 is in the pattern somewhere, or maybe they just left.
Okay. Flying W traffic, Spymaster 7 Whiskey Tango on
Runway 1.
runway 1, departing to the east. So, flying W traffic.
Sorry, I know you're not over here that often. I should have helped you out a little.
Should have thought before we talked.
That's okay. And we have a 0 wind condition here today, and they did take off this direction. And
yeah, nobody's on final.
yeah, this is I think there was like a 2 or 3 knot wind.
Okay.
Yeah, you want me to? I'll put it over here. I see that glare, so it's not ideal.
Okay.
Make sure everything's alive. Stay on the center line. We have trees up here and wires ahead at 250 feet. And you're flying the plane.
Okay, rotate.
And I'm looking for the airspeed indicator, and it's on the tape.
Yep.
Takes a minute to get used to.
Tier 2.
Okay, so where are you with...
Alright, we're at 400, waiting at 700, positive rate of climb. Flaps up.
what happens with our drag, and so Julian, when I come out of here, I always drop my nose just a little bit so I can see, because we got another airport right here, and
gear up.
Yeah, I would just drop your nose just a little bit and have a look out here. Make sure I've often found people coming in here without making radio calls.
Sure.
So just have a quick look around.
Okay.
And standard FAA departure from this pattern would be climbing out and going 45 degrees from the departure leg.
Warrior 14 Mike Juliet is about
in the direction of the pattern.
to the northeast.
And there's nobody in front of us. Actually, there is somebody over here.
I see him.
29er Lima Alpha, 29er 1 Lima Alpha, do you see him?
I got him on the fish finder.
Yeah, I don't see him out the window, but he's no factor and now behind you, so let's not turn into him. Can you lift this wing just a little bit, see if I can get eyes on him?
Flying WR 29er 1 Lima Alpha inbound
no
for VOR Alpha, and we are about 5 miles to the north.
Okay. Where is he, man? I don't see. He said 5 miles north. 4 Mike Juliet. So, what's our altitude right now? 2,000, man. This thing climbs fast.
Oh, yeah.
So,
days like today.
if you want to make a turn back toward, or if you want me to grab the plane for a second while you get set up, you're good.
Yep.
Good.
South Jersey traffic, Bonanza is back taxiing runway 8, South Jersey.
Looks like our GoPro's still working. That's a good sign.
Skyhawk 53261, 10 miles to the east inbound for landing, cross keys.
Alright, looks like it's about 22 miles away. I'm not going to hot dog it, I'm just going to kind of bring our settings down a little bit
Flying
here.
W traffic arts, 291 Lima Alpha, 2 miles inbound to VOR Alpha.
Wow, dude, that guy flew over the airfield. I don't know what he's doing. He's on the VOR Alpha. He missed it. So, we got McGuire right there, I think. Can you see McGuire? I can't see because I got all this glare coming off here. Sorry, that's McGuire right there.
Turn final, T2.
So keep an eye on that because we are actually...
Flying W, 291 Lima Alpha is going around, direct to coil. Flying W.
Okay, just keep an eye on the McGuire airspace because we're tangent to it right now. If you turn it another 5 degrees right, you'll be well clear.
Okay.
And then I got this set up on mine. See this red area? That's the approach to runway 6, so we try to transit that as quickly as possible, not loiter there.
Okay.
Cross keys traffic, Skyhawk 52261, 8 miles to the east inbound for landing, cross keys.
You got the, you got McGuire on there.
Yep.
So the reality is you're already above their airspace anyway, but I try to stay out of there.
I got you. And stay around 3,000 here.
And this thing gets up there fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Very smooth running. Yeah. So here's my suggestion is we just go over and do a couple patterns at MJX so you get familiar with the airport.
Hey, can you grab the yoke?
I have the plane.
Okay. Got these manual cowl flaps that are a big pain in the ass.
Are those for front and rear?
Yeah. Alright, my plane.
Your plane. Wow. That is sweet though.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of... You can change the transponder.
South Jersey traffic, Bonanza.
Crazy.
Runway 8 is southeastbound departure.
So I don't know if I told you, my plane partner, he went, since we've last flown, he went to work at an airline.
Okay.
Finished his 2 years and just got upgraded to United flying a 777 overseas.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I saw him yesterday morning. He said it's as exciting as you would expect.
Do you see 480? Says
Cross keys traffic.
They're in front of you somewhere, and they are minus 700, and
I got plus 500.
sorry, that's Lima Alpha. You're right.
These guys are
Downwind 4, South
plus
Jersey.
5, so I
turn left
don't know how they got up.
8.
I don't see him.
You're on a parallel track, and you're definitely going to catch those guys. So just keep your eye out. They're out here somewhere, and it's a 152. It's going to be... Do we have all our lights on?
Turn left down, runway 8. View over the field.
There you go.
Transitioning southeast.
Yeah, I can't see that so well from over here, but...
Yep, nav lights are on.
What's the last one? Strobe lights. Do you have strobes at work?
Yep, strobes are on.
And did you put a new ADS-B out in this thing, or you still have the, what's that thing called?
No ADS-B out through this.
What was the one you had before called?
It was a
Sky Beacon or
U-Avionics, yeah. A piece of crap.
I remember we hit it on the hangar door one night, and it never was quite the same again.
Yeah.
Mike Juliet is on a 4-mile final.
Right now they're coming back toward us. I don't have them in sight.
Hey, that guy just turned around, by the way. There he is. You got him?
No.
Damn.
Okay.
South Jersey traffic,
Yeah.
Cherokee is 2 miles southeast
What
of
is
the
this
field.
guy's doing?
At 1,500 feet, we'll be crossing midfield, entering downwind runway 8, South Jersey.
So,
traffic. Bonanza's over the field 2,000, transitioning southeast. I'll be looking for the Cherokee.
so they're doing some maneuvers up there, probably doing some stalls or
Cross
something.
Keys traffic,
I'm sorry,
52261 on 45 entry for 27 cross
Too
Keys.
loud. I don't know which one is.
So this is the volume of the radio
Yeah.
traffic. That's our volume in here.
Yeah, so that's fine. It was probably this one. So, AWA said MJX is 119.875. So this radio does work, right?
Yeah.
It's just we got to switch to comp.
Yeah, basically, to get it.
Altimeter 3018. Remarks. Thunderstorm. Information not available.
Thunderstorm.
Freezing rain. Information not available.
Now it's all messed up.
It works though. It's just
Ocean County
thunderstorm
Airport.
Information's missing.
Automated weather observation. 1401. Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 01 Celsius. Dew point -03 Celsius. Altimeter 3018. Remarks. Thunderstorm. Information not available. Freezing rain. Information not available.
You got no wind out of that?
No, it said calm.
Okay. So, do you normally try to keep these things perfectly in sync, or?
Usually I do, yep.
Okay, so just be aware.
Yep.
When you get in the plane with the DPE and he has all this instrumentation, he's probably gonna
break balls a little bit.
Well, no, I don't think he's gonna break your balls. I think he's gonna be really excited about this, but he's gonna want to know that you know how all this stuff works.
Sure.
And you do seem pretty familiar with it all. And the fact you did the upgrades with your tech, oversaw the upgrades with your tech, I think is good. That you have a lot of insights to how this plane works. And
Ocean County traffic, what runway are we landing?
Ocean County traffic at 2941, turning final, runway 24, Ocean County.
Okay.
Okay, so landed 24. Do you know how to set that up in ForeFlight?
Yeah, just tap it and select runway.
So if you go to procedure, actually, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to look out the window. So one of us should always be monitoring the flight path of the aircraft. So, and I'm not criticizing you, but I have a lot of students, and we both end up doing stupid things.
Yep.
So if you go into flight plan, just go ahead. I'm going to look out the window. You can still fly while you're doing this.
Flight plan.
Hit procedure, and then do approach. And there's visual approaches, and they call it 2-4, so hit 2-4. It asks you go 45 degrees entry, add to route, and it's going to give you this is actually cheating as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It's going to give you the, it's going to give you the entire pattern there.
That's awesome.
You just want to fly out to that point. So one other thing we can do here is just say Ocean County and say direct to, and it'll give you a new path right to the, where are we? Right, just touch on that.
Yep.
It'll give you a new path right to, I screwed you up now. You got to hit the procedure again. It's just calculating from where we are. So while you're setting that up, I'm going to look out the window, make sure we're not flying into anybody.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, so I don't know if I told you, but so we got some restricted area right in front of us. So, hey, one other thing we could do in this area right out here is he's going to want you, probably going to ask you about, can this plane fly with one engine? And you don't have to shut it all the way off for this exercise, but it's probably a good exercise to go up to, I don't know, 3,500 feet or so where we got a little bit of room. Take one engine all the way back to idle. We don't have to kill it, but let's feather it.
Yep.
And do the front engine or the rear engine first, and just see if we can maintain altitude and what kind of climb rate we could get with one engine. It's probably 0, right?
No, we actually can get a climb rate, 2
So
to
he's
3.
probably going to want you to do that. So if you want to go out and do that right now, we could turn up the coast. We have a pretty straight shot with no restricted areas, right up the middle of the coast. And I can keep an eye out for airspace if you want to do the front engine first and then the rear engine.
Okay.
And we can't do this too long because you got a rear engine that tends to overheat if you put a lot of stress, but I think that might be overly cautious, right?
Okay.
This plane should be able to fly. So I think he's going to want to know that you don't panic when you lose an engine.
Sure.
Because that's why you got 2 engines, right?
Yeah, 6-2 Mike is somewhere in front of us. I don't see him yet.
They should be passing off to your side. They're plus 900, so
Hear me?
if you go ahead and turn a little bit to your left, we'll just pass right by them. Yep. So on this heading, they should fly right by you. They should be out here somewhere. I don't see them either, but they might actually already be over here. They're going to turn though, because they're heading into a restricted area.
Ocean County traffic, helicopter 8 Delta Romeo is 3 miles to the northwest. We'll be entering.
Got them, yeah, they should be right off your wing. Got them.
Final approach to the parallel taxiway to 24, may clear the
So if you head right up to that dirt area up there, that brown area, you'll be off the ILS for, runway 6 at Ocean County. You got some room on this side. Okay. If you want to do that engine exercise.
Ocean County traffic at 2941, turning left base, runway.
And then after we do that, we'll go do some couple patterns.
So feathering the prop, we're going
So first of all, let's pick what engine we're going to do first.
Let's do the rear first.
Okay, so.
Let's do the front first.
Okay. Which one? So you don't have these labeled because we have the pedestal off, right? But which one's the front engine? This one?
Left, yep.
Okay, so we're going to. So I think before you do that, do we need to go full power and full prop on the rear engine? Is that how you've been doing it? You know, maybe 25 and 25 got you there so we don't overstress anything, right?
Okay.
Because if you did have an engine failure, you would be going full throttle on those, right?
Yep.
That'd be their first reaction.
Yeah, 24.
And I would, if you're going to fly on the rear, maybe put these both to 25, just so you'd have, basically you're going to need climb power to fly on one engine, right?
Yep. Yeah, so they're pretty much.
And try to let's just use 4,000 feet as our, try to maintain 4,000 while you do this whole thing.
Okay.
Because we're going to see if we can climb or if the plane starts descending or.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to do the front?
We're going to take the front. We're not going to turn it all the way off, we're just going to shut it down. Okay. Not shut it down, we're going to take it to idle. And can you bring the So you still got it at full throttle there, right? Do me a favor, just give us a very gentle, like 5-degree turn to the left. Okay. Just so we can stay away from the coastline here. Our emergency landing spot from here is
Sussex County,
probably going to be
traffic,
that.
Cessna 316 Alpha Sierra, 3 miles.
Okay, so we got a little bit of roughness, so let's just add a little bit of power. Just a little bit of throttle so you're not. So let's call that front engine out, right? Yep. So let's look here, front engine we're down to highest vacuum, fuel pressure, and tax. So now we actually climbed while we're doing that, and you're still climbing. What's our airspeed? Do we lose it? So let this run for about, give me a little turn to your left.
Okay.
We're, just keep an eye on your airspeed. And the exercise here is to be able to demonstrate to the DP, so he knows that you know this airplane will fly for some indefinite amount of time in an emergency to an airport without doing a lot of panic. So when I was doing my ATP, I was with an Air Force guy, and he said, when this kind of stuff happens in the Air Force, they teach you to like pull out a Lucky Strike, light a cigarette, and relax, and go by the checklist. Not the everything full forward. I got an emergency call. They just relax. They got 2 engines or 4 engines. Everything is calm. We're going to go through the checklist.
Okay.
So right now we're not doing the emergency engine out or shutting it all the way down. He's probably going to have you do a shutdown and restart. This is just to demonstrate this plane will fly at a good airspeed. So what's our cruise?
And it will actually climb.
Yeah, so we can actually climb. So that's good to know.
2 miles.
So right now we're flying on the rear engine. Do you know if this thing flies better on the front or the rear?
The rear is the primary.
Okay, so we're on the rear right now. Yep. So let's do the same exercise. It's been more than 30 or 60 seconds. Let's just get back to straight and level. Give me a little bit of a turn to the left. Get the plane back in normal flying configuration. We'll do the same thing on the, we'll shut down the rear and fly on the front for a minute. Prove the same thing.
All right, let me try it out.
Number 2 behind the helicopter.
And Ocean County Airport is going to be just off your... It's right there, actually.
Yep, it's right there.
Queen City traffic.
Okay.
Traffic. Officer 8
What's his flight?
is crossing the active runway. Will be departing the pattern to the east.
So, we'll keep an eye out for the helicopter. He's probably not going to be at 4,500. Okay. So you can just restabilize. So we're at 160 knots right now, or is that miles per hour?
Miles per hour.
Yours is all, the inside is...
It's all miles per hour.
The inside is knots, outside is miles per hour.
Inside's knots, yep.
Got it. Okay, so we're at 160, 155 miles per hour. This says 160.
Yep. 41, turn phone order, way 24, Scotty.
So we got a little, feel that vibration, so...
Yep.
This is all good, and this is probably causing that, right? We're still have a little bit. See if you can synchronize those a little better if that takes. What do you normally cruise this thing at, like 23, 2350?
Yeah, 23, 23.
Okay, be a little bit of a turn to the left again. We're drifting over. Okay, so let's do the same thing. We're going to shut down the rear engine now. Are we all stabilized? And
yeah, we're going about
we're still climbing, so we're at 4,500 feet. All we want to do is see if we can maintain 4,500 feet flying on the front engine.
Taking the rear out.
Red Silver RV, left downwind, simulated engine out, Queen City.
Still can't see New York, can we? Oh, there it is. Sorry, it's right off our 10 degrees off our nose.
Runway 24 left, close, traffic, Ocean County.
So that's your rear engine. So I think one thing you need, we want to pretend we're climbing at like 25 squared, right? If we're only flying on one engine, or maybe we don't need that kind of power setting. Maybe it'll fly at 24. So right now you got 24 by 24. And right now we're descending a little bit, but that's probably not to do with the engine. It's just your attention is split between the engines and the flight attitude.
Okay.
So can we climb? So we don't have quite the same airspeed right now.
Okay. So
and we're at 24 by 24 plus or minus.
All right, now I think we're pretty much stabilized here.
And we're actually losing altitude right now. So
yeah. So
the question is, in an emergency, if you put this at 25, can you? And we're completely feathered. Is that drag killing us?
I think we're completely feathered. Yeah.
So this would be the feather right here, right?
Yeah.
Can you take this back anymore? Or?
Try it. Just don't want to stall it.
Traffic tap 20, left-bound wind 24, ocean bound.
So that's completely feathered.
Yeah.
We're still descending a little bit. We lost about, I don't know, somewhere around 300 feet. So if you go to 25, can you still, on the rear engine?
On the front, you mean?
On the front, yeah, sorry. On the front, sorry. Just bring this to 25 and 25. Just, you know, because this is, so you're flying straight and level right now. Just give it 30 seconds and then we won't beat up your engine.
Yep.
So the exercise here is, in an emergency, you lost 300 feet configuring it. So I think you can prevent that.
Yep.
We're still flying 110 knots. We're above blue line. So this plane will fly on the front engine in an emergency and maintain at least straight and level. I don't know if you can climb right now. You can probably climb like 50 feet per minute, which... Okay, I think, so are you satisfied this plane flies on one engine? It definitely flies better on the rear engine. There's more power developed.
Yep.
Then you can bring everything back to 23. Nice and easy. I'm just going to check if there's anybody in front of us because we're going to probably do a U-turn back around to the right. Stay away from whatever this is in front of us, Lakewood, yeah. And then when you, and by the way, if you're ever flying out here, they vector a lot of guys in from the ocean directly in this little corridor going over to Robbinsville a lot of times.
Okay.
So you got to really keep your eyes out. Be with ATC. So when you get reconfigured, when you're with the DPE, I would get your checklist, which I have here.
Okay.
And just do a cruise checklist when you're done.
Okay.
I would just be grabbing this thing every time you change configurations.
23 square.
I'll keep an eye outside. We're going to try and maintain 45 while you're doing the checklist. 4,500 feet.
Throttles, props, mixture, fuel tanks, flaps are closed.
So I would just check everything. Like when you say fuel tanks, I don't know.
Proper tanks.
Yep. Make sure you look because he's not a big fan of your reading and not touching.
Okay.
This guy's, all he cares about is you're not going to go kill yourself or anybody on the ground. So whenever you're ready, if you've done the cruise checklist,
complete,
we can do a 180. There's no airspace on this side. We do have some restricted area way back. This plane goes so fast that we actually have, we've actually put some distance. Yeah, when you get this all done, man, we're going to have to go do a flight up to Martha's Vineyard or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, so how's your ball looking? Just a little right rudder. This is a really, really great airplane to fly, Julian. I know when you got this, it was a, little bit of a stress. For the first couple months, you had a lot of problems with your seller and your mechanic and
all kinds of stuff.
Why don't we level up here, head back down that way. That's Ocean County right there.
Okay.
You might want to do another... What's that?
You want to do a straight in for 2-4, or what do you want to do?
So I wouldn't. I just had to do a couple safety seminars at Flying W, and the whole idea of straight ins when you're not on an instrument approach is just one more opportunity to try and fly the pattern whenever you can. I can hold out. I can hold out.
I can put it up here.
Okay. I would try and fly the pattern whenever you can.
Okay.
Especially when you get to busy airports where there's a lot of knuckleheads around. If everybody starts doing straight ins, yeah, I got you. It's not illegal. There are plenty of instances where a straight in might be okay, but when it is busy, you are responsible to enter the flow of the traffic pattern.
Okay.
If you're doing a straight in, you need to enter the traffic pattern flow. You can't just cut in. Gotcha. Same with the instrument approach. If it's not a real instrument, if it's practice, you got to break it off and enter the... I'll hold this for you.
Thank you.
Just remind me, if you need it, I got it.
Got it. All right, what's the plan?
So if I were you, I would just go into your flight plan, touch Ocean County again, say direct to. So just touch KMJX.
This here?
Yep, approach. And reset it up right now.
424?
Yep, 24, 45 degree entry.
Okay.
It's going to give you, and then just say add the route.
Yep.
And it should give us a magenta line from our current position. I don't know if you, I don't think, oh man. You got the plane while I just restick this.
Yep, got the plane. Yeah, it didn't reset the line.
Yeah, so what we missed was the direct 2 part.
Radio check.
So did you touch that first?
Direct 2.
Yep. Okay. Now you got the magenta line. Now go ahead and do the procedure part. I'm going to look out the window while you're doing that. It's 45 degree entry to runway 24 at the flight plan. And so to me, this is like completely cheating because it gives you an exact pattern. It's fantastic. Yeah, so I don't know if you're going to make it. You might want to do a 360 to the right or left, whatever turns you on, and find that point. So I'm going to set my flight plan up while we're...
Queen City traffic, flight 469, box drop, last call, departing pattern north Queen City.
Southbound traffic, Cessna 4 to the west. We'll be entering a light tower on 2. Stamping, cap 2941. 2.
Okay, I'm done fooling around here, so it looks like the 45 degree entry is going to take you way out to the east of the field and then bring you back in on the 45 entry to, and do you know, when you set it up that way, can you see that it actually gives you the traffic pattern altitude at the end of the 45 there?
It doesn't.
Yeah, let me just, there it is.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it really is awesome. I feel like I learned to fly in the wrong century. I used to have this paper chart, you draw a line.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, it was horrifying. Yeah, this is like almost a gaming studio now. So, if you want,
I'm going to do a 360.
Yeah, you can either do a 360 or you could fly out long, but 360 works. It's good practice. Keep an eye on your ball because that's what the DPE will be doing. And just be aware we are off the end of, we're off the runway 6, so there could be people landing under us, so let's keep a really close eye about that.
Okay.
I don't see anyone, but there are a lot of jets land at this airport.
Okay, I got the fish finder up too here.
So your plane has the same characteristic mine does. When you pull the power back and slow down, you get a little exhaust coming into your cockpit.
Okay, I'll check on that.
No, it's just airflow around the exhaust.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it's you don't have the gear down yet. Mine usually starts when you get the gear down.
500, we'll plan an upwind entry, runway 14.
No, there's a lot of air leaks in these things around the doors and stuff. And as soon as you slow down, pitch the nose down, something happens with the exhaust. And I typically keep one of those CO monitors in my...
I actually have a...
yeah, I saw that back there.
The house units.
I got a little wearable one, but I keep killing the battery in it by throwing it in my bag. So I'm going to let you set this up because you seem like you got this under control. We just have to get back on that magenta line. And be aware we will be crossing the departure end of runway 6 and the approach end of runway 24. So we want to make sure nobody's coming across.
24, departing to the north.
Yeah, so that guy's leaving that way. Okay. I think. So he's going away 24 and departing in that direction. So he should be no factor. Although he may fly the pattern to get out of here.
Hey, 941, you staying in the pattern?
That's negative, so we'll be out of your airspace to the north, 41.
Thank you.
So that was 2941.
Yep. All right. You're down.
Sounded good.
Yep.
Sounded quite positive.
Very crispy.
You have any issues with the gear in this plane?
Oh, I've had lots of issues. But they've all been
right now. So you have the same Cessna setup I do, one green light. I think you and I have the exact same. Yeah, probably identical. So this is going to be our landing runway of 24 right there.
Okay.
We were just trying to make sure nobody, and I'm looking at the box, there's nobody in there. You got the same information.
Ocean traffic at 2941, climbing through 1,600. To climb in 2,500, we're 2 miles southeast of Ocean County, departing to the north.
We're 1,700. Let me just grab him real quick.
Yeah.
Cap 2941, Cessna 337. We're inbound. We're north of the field. We're going to be passing under you to set up for a 45, Ocean County.
Heritage traffic, November 5280, Victor, entering the left downwind.
What are we, 337 Whiskey Tango? Yep. Let's come out this way a little bit. I think he heard it. That's good. That's good right there. He's going to be right in front of you somewhere. Maybe a little to your right. He's plus 500. Do you see him?
Yeah, it looks like he's going over the field.
He's in this sector right here. I don't see him yet outside. Do you?
Nope.
Okay, so you're familiar with Gump's check. We already did the approach, right? We got the wind, weather.
Yep.
Did we get an altimeter setting here? Not
we
that
did.
it's
We did. Yep.
Okay.
3018.
3018. I'm going to set mine. Now that I know how to do that. Thank you, sir. You're teaching me stuff today. Probably just cost me 20 grand too. Gene, if you're watching, this is going to be scheduled shortly. So this is a great airport. Well, I think we have a 5,900-foot runway.
Traffic, Skyhawk 777, left crosswind 25, Central Jersey.
He's plus 1,100 opposite direction. There he is. You got him?
Yep. See him. Yep.
Okay, so we're looking for what? TPA of 1086.
7 left now and 25 Central.
So, if I were you, I would be doing an approach checklist just for the heck of it here.
Okay.
Do you even have one on here?
I do not.
Okay.
I just do the Gump's checklist, pre-landing. That's the approach, I guess.
Yeah, so this is what we're looking for. Power, mixture, cow flaps, defroster, we don't have to worry about that today so much. ATIS is what I was looking for and getting your altimeter set, which you've already done.
Yep.
And all your instruments are looking good, right? And the one instrument might be your attitude indicator, and is this slaved?
What do you mean?
Is this slaved to your DG?
No, it's not connected.
These aren't connected at all, so you're flying off of this, right?
Yeah, there's a magnetometer in the wing.
Got it. Beautiful. Okay, so that traffic opposite direction has passed over you. You got the whole pattern to yourself. We're looking for 1068. I'm sorry, can't see it, 1086.
Okay.
And there's geese flying low right across there. I don't know if you see that, so we'll be aware of birds. So right now all you're going to do is get turned. Oh man, there's a lot of geese down here. That's the second flock. You can probably turn onto that 45 whenever you're ready. There's no rush. There's nothing out here. Yep. Got a United Airline above the clouds at 17,000 feet. So we're low enough now, we would be very concerned about any kind of
Central Georgia traffic.
Stall in this airplane, of course, right? So, lots of birds out here. Ducks, geese, whatever they are. These are actually seagulls now. Yeah, so when you're in the pattern, you know the drill. No hot dogging, really gentle turns, no rush. This plane's faster than a Cessna, and we got to be... I just saw a plane out there, I thought. Either that or it's the biggest bird on New Jersey.
Heritage traffic, level 5280, Victor's on final for runway 10.
This is a really nice turn radius. Just keep an eye on your altitude.
Final 25 Central Jersey.
This is going to work out really nicely. So, gear. Your mirror is just like a little bit...
I can see it on this side, at its down.
How's your ball looking? Good? And you got... And you got the ball in here, so just keep an eye on that.
5 Alpha Foxtrot is about 5
Looking
miles
good. There's your 45.
southwest, and we'll be overflying the field at 2,500 Central Jersey traffic.
Look over at the airport, Julian, because we have just a little bit of a lag on our iPads, and we just want to be heading to the middle of the field now, pretty much.
Gotcha. Ocean County traffic, 7 Whiskey Tango joining the left downwind for 24, Ocean County.
Keep an eye on the altitude. We want to stay plus or minus 1086.
Okay.
I'm not breaking your balls, but
Yeah, no problem. That's what you're here for.
you're a good enough pilot that you can keep. And I'm assuming you're going to do your instrument rating at some point in this thing. So,
well, maybe not in this, but
oh, I would. Jesus, this is the best instrument platform I've ever seen in my life.
oh, thank you.
Okay, so we are on the 45. There should be making sure there's nobody else in the pattern here.
Okay, I don't see
You made a
anybody.
radio call. You're going to be on a left downwind for runway 24. And I would give yourself some room because you know this plane is going to be
Fast.
a little faster than a Cessna.
Central Jersey traffic, White Cherokee 505 Foxtrot is
Everything looks good to me. You've had your gear down for a little while now.
Field at 2,500.
I keep thinking you got a fixed gear like you do in a caravan or something.
Right.
You got beefier gear than I do. Okay, so does this look about normal to you for distance?
Sight picture, yeah.
Okay, because I don't know. I know this thing's going to turn a little wider. What's our approach speed want to be in this?
About 90 miles an hour. Once we're on final. Maybe a little bit more.
So gear down was 140 and flaps, 1/3 flaps can be at 160. Wow, and then after that it's 120. So you actually can put any flaps you want in. You're in the white arc now.
Actually, wait till I'm 45 with the runway.
So we're 45. We're on the left downwind now, right?
Okay.
So we're left downwind, getting ready for base.
Central Jersey
You can begin your descent.
overflying the
So we want to do the gumps check. So gas,
undercarriage,
undercarriage, mixture. Yeah, sorry, you reached to the right place.
Yeah.
Gas,
Props are good, and
mixture, prop.
and
Are these both
that's
full
kind of
forward?
maxed out, yeah.
Okay. Switches, seat belts, and
That's it.
you can throw flaps at the end, which you got already.
Ocean County traffic, 7 Whiskey Tango, turning left base 424.
And always be careful. There's Ocean County and Ocean City, New Jersey. They're both on the same frequency.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's called MJX. Do people say MJX or?
No, they don't. They call it Ocean County. So we're below 10,000 feet. We're in startle cockpit mode. You know the drill on that, right?
Yep.
Don't be surprised if the DPE would try to distract you and go, hey, so tell me about your scuba diving trip, right?
I'm going to use 10, or I can use that one.
And you're going to say what?
I'm going to say, listen, we're landing. Business only.
Say, I'll get back. Let me get on the ground and we can talk about that. I'd love to explain it to you.
Okay.
You never put any flaps in during a turn.
Okay.
And I like to get whatever. Yeah, you're already second notch, so. Okay. Looking good, Chief.
Hey, Ocean County traffic, 7 Whiskey Tango on final for 24, Ocean County.
You want to say Spymaster.
Spymaster.
Whiskey Tango. That way everybody come out and look. So Steve, our DPE, is real big on stabilized approach. So below 500 feet, he wants you aligned with the runway.
Okay.
Plane configured for landing.
Okay.
Still a little high. It's okay. You're doing fine. Just don't let your descent rate get really crazy. Because you're going to, there you go. You're on the glide path now, so just add just a touch of power so you don't, you're going to blow through the bottom right now. You're still descending at 800 feet per minute. Okay. There you go. All right. So you're just 10 feet high, so don't get too crazy. So you got full flaps, call the gear down again, your short final. Refrigerator blocks are your 1,000-footers, aiming point. Okay. Airspeed's 90 miles an hour. This all looks good. You're just slowing her down. Try to land right on the center line with the nose and tail line with the runway. Not bad. I would do a full stop here. Okay. If we were in a Cessna 172, we could do a touch and go, but this would be a violation of rule number 2, which would be maybe breaking the plane. What's that? Just, touch and go.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. There's one of the instructors at the Flying W said to me, an older guy, he said, I never do touch and goes. I said, why not? He said, well, it's a landing with no ending and a takeoff with no beginning. Yeah. And he said, unless you have a 10,000-foot runway, I just don't like doing them. And he's got about 30,000 hours of instruction, and I figured he's still alive.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of touch and goes. I don't really do them.
Well, so and in this plane, you're just beating the hell out of your own plane. So
flaps up.
You're in a 172. So when you do your check ride, get off the runway first before you do any after landing checks.
Okay.
Because most of these guys are corporate or airline pilots.
Sure.
And they're going to be, so you're still private pilot. I don't think they're going to break your balls about that, but I would just be aware that.
Maybe I can call it. Ocean County traffic, 7 Whiskey Tango, clear of 24, Ocean County.
Taxi back on Alpha here.
Okay.
So I would pull up 2 plane lengths so you're not blocking the intersection.
Okay.
And then I would do your checklist all there.
Like right here?
Go up 2 plane lengths, just so somebody else can get off.
I gotcha.
Just good practice.
Okay, so like right here?
Yep. There's another 337 parked here. Have you ever seen it?
Should I stop and do this? Or
I'd absolutely stop the plane.
Okay, so flaps up.
Always checklist.
Cow flaps open. Strobes off. Landing light off.
So landing light off during the day, I would just say, hey, I'm going to leave it on because there's no opposing traffic. At night, you would want to turn it off if there's another plane you're going to blind. But
trim takeoff.
Yep.
And it's basically, let me turn down the heat a little bit. How you doing with the heat? Turn it down a little bit? Or?
I'm a little bit hot, yep.
Okay. All right, after landing checklist complete.
So, I think when you see this video, it's always a little different. That camera and this thing are lined up, and you'll see we were just a little off the center line, and maybe, I don't know, I think it was a little bit cocked 5-10 degrees to the left.
Okay.
And the only way you can ever fix that is to just move your head over till your brain figures out.
Do you think that's a rudder thing?
It is a rudder thing for sure.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely not wind today. And you'll see it on the video. And I think we're pretty well aligned here. So, a lot of times students just they'll land, and they're always 10 or 15 degrees cocked. And the wheels, you get to a certain point, they just don't spin anymore. They bounce.
Sure. Yep.
You were nowhere near that.
Yeah,
I would just...
last time I was here was with you.
It's a great airport.
Yeah.
I never used to come here. Now I come here almost
every day. It's like
every day.
P&E without the tower. It's great.
Well, P&E, the problem over there is you're over a super urban area, and anything goes wrong, you've now got people on the ground and buildings to worry about. Whereas here, it's rule number 1 only. We might get hurt, but there are a lot of good emergency landing spots out here too.
Sure.
So it's not apparent to you, but while you're with this guy, he's going to be like, hey, is this guy, can he keep the plane on the center line? So just put your head here and just convince yourself that we need to move over about 2 feet. There you go. Okay. All he wants to know is, you're a private pilot upgrading to centerline thrust limited in this 337, and he doesn't want you to get hurt. He wants to see your...
Does that look, the centerline right there?
A
little bit more?
There you go.
So like right about...
Just put your head right there. Usually just be trying to line that thing up between our 2 legs here.
Yeah, I'm trying to visually picture, I guess, on the cow where it would be exactly. Yeah, it's kind of...
I always tell new students when they first get in the plane they can't taxi. I said, in 10 hours or 5 hours, you're going to be taxiing. You will never think about it again.
From where you're sitting right now, does it look like centerline?
Yes, it does.
It does, okay. All right, I'll remember this. Yeah, my sight picture was...
And so the reason that's important is, first of all, these guys are flying jets that cost,
couple dollars.
Anywhere from 10 million to hundreds of millions of dollars. And so if they hit a wingtip on something, their career's over.
Yeah, forget about it.
But more importantly for you is, you come here, you can hit another plane, or I've seen guys hit snowbanks. You come out here when it snows 2 or 3 feet, they got this stuff piled up 7 feet high. It's not so much in a Cessna. So there's 2, you don't have to use this one. I would use the full runway.
Can we go to Central Jersey?
You can do whatever you want, man.
Get some fuel.
Be awesome.
P&E really sucks. It's like $8 a gallon.
I know everybody goes to Central Jersey.
That pump gets a lot of action.
Yeah, I know guys that used to fly up there. They would be like, hey, I'm going to get my night landings in. I'm going to get some gas, and it paid for itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to want to stop there is no ILS hold short. It's all right here.
Yep.
You're going to stop well short of here. I like to stop a little bit of an angle so I can see what's going on.
The final, yep.
And then no part of your plane should ever be over that line.
Okay.
I don't think there's an ILS hold short. No, there's not. Because the ILS is on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a checklist spot, right?
Yep.
Rule number 1 and number 2 are still in effect.
Still in effect.
We don't want to get killed, and we don't want to
always
break.
in effect.
Yep, exactly. We don't want to get hurt, and we don't want to break your plane.
All right, pre-takeoff, flaps, 1/3. Props, high RPM, mixture, best power, prop sync off, heading bug.
But before you, is this where it's supposed to be, or does it need to go there?
No, so what's going to happen is I can definitely put it there, but what it's going to do
And this is rear engine, right?
Well, it's going to redline.
Got it. Okay, so you know.
So.
Okay, that's cool.
But it's part of the adjustment process.
Okay.
So, but if I ever need that extra, I can just boost it. But when on the rollout, I look what the RPMs are. If I need it, I'll just give it a little bit more.
By the way, that Baron, I think, was here. I didn't hear his call, though. Did you happen to hear that?
I did not. I don't see him on the fish finder here.
There is somebody. No, that's not him. Okay.
All right, so again, pre-takeoff, start again. Flaps 1/3, props high RPM, mixture best power, prop, off sync, transponders 1200, doors secure, pitot heat off, no de-ice, landing light on, and strobes on, and we're on the brakes. Okay, ready for departure.
Okay, so I make a radio call. I did hear somebody in a Barron, and I heard somebody say Ocean County. And now, again, he might be at Ocean City or...
Okay. Well, I'm looking at final. I don't see anybody.
I don't see anybody anywhere, so we made an attempt to identify that aircraft.
Okay. Ocean County traffic, Spymaster 337 Whiskey Tango, departing 24 to the northwest, Ocean County.
And how's your fuel gauge? Good.
Yeah, we're good. We still got 14 gallons in each tank.
Cool. And this thing burns what?
About 10 gallons per hour on each engine.
Okay, so we're only about 15 minutes away from where we're going anyway, right?
Yep.
20. So, while you're doing that, I'll get this set up in a minute, but we're MJX 2.
Okay, all our gauges look good. They're all in spec.
What's Central Jersey?
47 and November. Okay, roll out.
Okay. You have the plane.
My plane.
Windsock is actually showing pretty dead, but
airspeed alive, rotate.
Everything looks good here. We're at what, 80 knots? Is that a rotation, 80 or 85?
75.
75. Just try to maintain center line. All looks good. This thing's got some real power, doesn't it?
It does.
He is going to kill one of your engines on the takeoff roll.
Okay.
Just get ready for that.
Looks like we got some weather rolling in. I don't know if that's east to west, whichever weather.
Oh, man. Good call. That just popped up on mine.
Yep.
So you're flying the plane. I'm going to look out the window. If you can do me a favor, just fly the plane for a minute. I'm going to see where we're going, if we're going through any airspace. So you got to go through Lakehurst to get where you're going. Do you see that?
Yes.
So we're going to have to fly above 2,600 pretty quickly, which I think you can probably do. And then that weather is coming, from southwest? Or
not sure which direction it's heading.
Yeah, that might be just, that's all off the coast, so pretty far south here, but we'll keep a really close eye on that because I don't feel like taking an Uber from Central Jersey back to my house. So I would say you have a pretty good understanding of this aircraft, Julian.
Yep.
Feels pretty good.
Anyone preparing to take off Ocean County from 24? Anyone on 24 Ocean County?
Let me just grab this.
So you get to my not up the airport, you're going to fly over the airport. It's touching on the seat and during the left hand foot on the
We'll just leave him alone. He's...
Ocean County Travis Station Air 51924, ILS 29 over FTO.
Ocean
Ocean County. Barron is departing runway 06 Ocean County, and it'll be a departure to the east.
Central Jersey traffic.
So do me a favor, just get parallel to the runway because this Baron is coming straight out that way. He's going to make a right turn out.
Just gaining some altitude.
Yep, no, that's good. You're keeping an eye. Yeah, you're doing the right thing. I would just parallel this runway till you get up to, you're actually above their pattern altitude now.
We're good now.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to grab this and put us on 126. 475 is McGuire.
I knew we weren't climbing fast. It's like, oh, the gear's down.
I'm going to flip-flop this.
Yeah, go for it.
Is that what that's supposed to do? It goes up and then it drops down?
Yep.
Like this. So I'm just going to put you over to McGuire. Sorry, I missed it. 126.
070 at 4.
Central Jersey White Cherokee 092, setting caution for only
126 475 is click. That's McGuire. We'll just listen while we're flying over. There's McGuire Air Force Base. We are crossing. We're getting ready to cross over
Lakehurst. Yep.
Lakehurst Naval Air Station's airspace. And these sand mines are incredible down here. The amount of excavation these guys do.
A lot of interesting stuff going on in the Pine Barrens.
It's crazy though because these don't have any inlets or outlets. These mines they build. Okay. So after they're done mining the sand, they got these really deep, filled with water. But some people are like, "Oh, I want to build houses and make a community," but there's no water coming in or out, so it becomes really stagnant.
I gotcha.
Okay, so you know about this place, right? You're about to fly right over the Hindenburg landing pad, right?
Which one was it?
The Hindenburg?
Which pad was it?
Oh, it's the big circular one. Do you see it?
I'll show you.
There's one that's a giant circle. That's where the Hindenburg mast pull.
Left there.
I can't see it. So this thing right here is where they make aircraft carrier test catapults. So there's
shit.
Let me just push your nose over.
Yep.
There's one. See that one over there with like 5 things going this way?
Yeah.
Those are, they build the actual aircraft carrier test catapults in there to test them.
168, 9,500 descent across the set.
That's all they do here is, well, not all they do, but that's one of the main things they build. They test catapults here.
That's so awesome.
3016 after subs, direct to Robbinsville.
We're right over top of Lakehurst Naval Air Station runways. These 2 hangars have been here since Hindenburg days for dirigibles, well, for airships.
Always wanted to land on a carrier.
Good luck. That's probably not going to happen. They got some weird stuff down here.
That's really neat. Never knew that.
Yeah, those 4, or there's actually 5.
Yeah.
Those have catapults built into the ground. And then the other one is just, I don't know what they do over there, man.
Experimental.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people I know work here, but...
McGuire, Baron 68, Juliet, November.
Okay, so you're on a direct course, it says.
Baron 68, Juliet, November, McGuire, approach altimeter 3016 at request.
3016.
Following, please, we're just east.
I love this thing, man.
X-ray at 2.4.
Gotta set both of them now. 3016. Mine says 3,450, 3,450. Good. It says we're 13 minutes away. Yep. 30 nautical miles. Wow. How fast are we going?
Juliet, November.
140.
Yeah.
Good. All right, where's the...
And that's not even, that's only 23 square.
Where was your, what are you doing with flaps, Chief?
Number 68,
that gotta go up, right?
Our contact 4 miles south.
If I would do your cruise checklist right now, that'll prevent...
Juliet, November, thank you.
Cruise checklist.
And you can do that without any assistance.
All right, throttles, props, mixture, fuel tanks are set on the mains, and
we got our
are set.
We got a flight plan. We got our frequency set. We got our altimeter. So yeah, on your check ride, I know I'm distracting the hell out of you, but gear up, flaps up.
Delta's approved for your descent.
Transition approved for 30.
They go hand in hand. Gear up, flaps up.
Yep. Yeah, because we had both of those still down for a little while. I was talking to you and we were looking out.
Yeah, but still,
68 is going to maintain 6,000.
I'll start breaking your stones.
It's a good practice.
Yeah.
Especially when you're with normal passengers like they, you know, they don't.
Hey, you're not the only one who's ever done that. Believe me, I've flown for a half hour, and you're like, oh, my gear's still down, or yeah. I mean, the best time to do it is on the departure leg. Just get it all cleaned up, and don't have a guy like me talking to you while you're trying to get out of the airport.
But
right?
He's a big fan of 700 feet and then gear up, so that's the time I should put the flaps up as well.
You want to be at a safe. So there's a whole thing he brought up about the aircraft gear in transit drag. So what does your POH say?
It doesn't specify when put gear up.
So I think, you know, safe altitude. You don't want to leave it down and just be dragging it. But if you have an engine anomaly, you don't want to be fooling around it. With a bad engine, you want to just leave it down because you're probably landing anyway.
That's Six Flags down there.
Yep, that's Six Flags Great Adventure. I've never been there in my life. Have you?
Yeah, it's actually where my wife fell in love with me right down there.
Really? All right. Well, there you go.
Took her on some rides. She liked it. Now she won't go on any kind of rides, even the airplane. Sucks.
She's still got that problem.
Yep.
I'm gonna just double check that we're all plugged in here. This thing looks like it's been running the whole time, which is, if it's not, I'm going to be really upset. A couple weeks ago, I flew for a couple hours and got home, and it was not recording properly.
Yeah, it always sucks.
Well, there's just too many cables with this whole Garmin setup. They got to come up with a better system.
Yeah, wireless.
Yeah, this wireless is like 50% of the time it works.
Yeah, I remember I had two of them, and they were kind of working sometimes not, with the remote.
Yeah, I think there's too much going on in the plane, Bluetooth and
a lot of
Wi-Fi.
signals.
Yeah,